it's interesting. Funny you should ask, Stacey.
I didn't even know. I didn't even hear him for the first time. Y'all pitched it to somebody else.
Yes, yeah. Pretty big artist.
I guess I was third on the totem pole.
No. For some reason, I had heartache at 12 years old. I was getting left, and I was probably writing drinking songs too.
This week on Headline Country, it's dueling number ones for one duo and a red-hot newcomer. Florida Georgia Line and Thomas Rhett share a chart-topping bash.
We'll learn about the real life of newcomer John Party as Stormy and John hit the back trails of Middle Tennessee for a little horsing around.
And Lady Antebellum finally gets set to hit the road. We'll take you to their tour rehearsals.
Plus, I sit down with Jennifer Nettles for part 2 of our wide open conversation. This time, it's all about the music.
What's up, y'all? It's your boys Tyler and Brian. We're Florida Georgia Line.
Headline Country starts right now.
Hello, everybody. I'm Stormy Warren.
And I'm Stacey McLeod.
Welcome to Headline Country. Well, number one parties are nothing new, but always a welcome treat on Music Row, especially if you are the one with the chart topper, either as an artist or a songwriter, or both.
Yeah, but what happens when one of the writers of a number one song just so happens to have another number one hit of their own, not only as an artist, but as a writer, and they're all on the same record label?
I would say you would have one heck of a party, especially when you look at the guys we're talking about, Florida Georgia Line and Thomas Rhett. And it goes like this.
Brian, Tyler, Thomas Rhett.
Management called and hey, we're just going to do a double number one party, and I just kind of had to, sit back and think about that. That's really strange to me.
And it goes like, ooh, what I wouldn't do.
All the credit goes to God, because I get out there some nights and I just wonder how in the world all this has happened, and to be here with my family and all my friends here. Never had a number one party before. I've been to about 900 of Dad's and Rodney's and Chris's and y'all's, and for me to be a part of one is a very cool thing.
Presented to Thomas Rhett to commemorate your multi-chart, multi-week number one hit single. It goes like this. Yeah!
It starts with a smile and it ends with an all night long slow kiss. It goes like this.
Along with celebrating his first ever number one hit with It Goes Like This, newcomer Thomas Rhett pulled double duty as honoree at a recent bash in Nashville, where he was also celebrated as a co-writer of label mates Florida Georgia Line's third chart topper, Round Here.
I heard it a couple years ago. It was the work tape, I think, before they even demoed it, but I fell in love with it, and we just knew that it had a huge message. It was an anthem, that chorus when it hits. There's so many memorable lines all throughout the song. It just ends up being one big hook.
The moon comes up and the sun goes down. We find a little spot on the edge of town.
Just taking it out on the road, it's crazy to see everybody's living that song out more than anything, screaming at the top of their lungs. We'd send videos back and forth of us, each other playing it, and just watching the fans, just fall in love with it, and literally they're just living it out. So it's really cool.
Around Here, was one of those songs that, I'd written, and for me at the time wasn't for me. I was kind of a different artist then, a different songwriter, different performer, and when Brian and Tyler called and were like, man, we're going to cut Around Here and put it out as a single, I was like, that's awesome. I was just proud to be a part of the tsunami that they have started, in this business, and so. And for that song to go number one was pretty incredible.
To be busy every night playing music, the songs that we love, songs that we've recorded, and songs that our amazing fans are falling in love with, it's a dream. It really does feel like a dream.
So feeling alright Saturday night, and that's how we do it round here. Yeah, that's how we do it round here.
Hearing tunes he's written for others on the radio is nothing new for Thomas, yet ironically, the second-generation singer-songwriter isn't responsible for the song that earned him his first number one as an artist. Peach picker Ben Hayslip, up-and-comer Jimmy Robbins, and Thomas's own pops, Rhett Akins, can claim that credit.
Of course you want a song on your son's record, but I've never been the kind of dad that tried to force anything that I've done on him. I didn't try to make him be in the music business. That just kind of happened. I'm fortunate to get one on there because his songs are better than mine, most of the time. And he could have had Round Here on this album. He could have had Parking Lot Party. He could have had Ain't Ready to Quit that Jason Aldean recorded. So every song that he writes is awesome. So just getting one in there is like trying to get on a Luke Bryan record or a Jason Aldean record.
I'm just blessed to you know, had cuts on other artists, and especially since all these artists are my buddies, it's really cool to watch them have success with one of your songs and think that your songs are cool enough to go on their records.
It goes like this.
With the continuation of Florida Georgia Line's headlining tour and new music headed your way from both Brian and Tyler and Thomas Rhett, 2014 is shaping up to be another big year for all three guys.
And talking about big starts to the year, when we come back, we're going to have part 2 of my conversation with Jennifer Nettles. We're going to be talking a little bit about how she's getting ready to spread her own wings as a solo artist.
Coming up, Jennifer Nettles shares the painstaking process of laying out the music for her new solo project. Last week, Jennifer Nettles sat down with Stacey for a wide-open chat about motherhood, music, and Pink. This week, it's all about the music on Jennifer's brand new solo project.
I don't wanna be that girl with your bag to fool you, make you cry.
I know you wanted this album to be different. There were some things specifically that you wanted to do that maybe weren't what you have been doing. Did your mindset kind of have to change a little bit?
My mindset did have to change, and yet really it was dictated by the songs for this new project, because obviously the music has to come first. And I didn't really know what was going to happen, is why really I wanted to let myself be open as a writer to see what would happen. And luckily I like the way that it all ended up. And we tracked like 21 songs in the studio, Rick and I did, with these fabulous musicians. And so I had a lot to choose from. But that's a good thing, you know. I wanted to have that diversity to see what would happen, to see what would end up making the final cut as a cohesive project.
I don't really wanna be that girl.
The album just seems so, you know, mellow, and just, was the whole process that way?
I would put it more like this. I think the whole process was very organic in the way that it happened. And I think a lot of times when you're on the right track in your life and in your art and within the universe, that doors and things open more easily, and there isn't as much of forcing, even from a creative standpoint.
We all know how the moral of the story goes. Be careful what you reap, 'cause you reap what you sow.
Obviously the song That Girl drew you enough to where it was single title track. Talk a little bit about the song and what about that song it was that you love so much.
Well, it's interesting. Funny you should ask. It's interesting to me, actually. I was surprised. I'm a real collaborator, especially with the label, in terms of ideas and concepts and volleying things back and forth, you know, volleying ideas, because they have a role in this too. So consequently, I was pleasantly surprised that they wanted to choose That Girl as the first single, sort of to come out as the face of what this album is.
Is there a couple other songs on the album that just really touch you, or that you love more than others? Or?
Oh yeah, I love Me Without You.
Without those tears in my eyes, I bet you'd hardly recognize me. Without you.
I love the beauty of it, I love the simplicity of it, I love the message of it, and I love singing it. It's fun, as a singer, it's fun to sing, it's emotional, and it taps into something that I enjoy singing. So I love that song. What else do I love? I love Jealousy, because it's fun.
Girl, don't take it personally, 'cause it's just jealousy. Killing me, all this jealousy, killing me.
Obviously it's a different Jennifer, it's a different side of you that people haven't seen, like you said. What are you hoping your fans take away from this when they push play?
That. Just what you said. I hope that they take something new away. I hope that they hear it and they say, wow, she is a way better singer and a way better songwriter than we ever knew. Just simply because, again, once an act establishes a certain sound, people, especially the people that sell it, like for it to continue to sound that way. I don't want to stagnate, and I wanted it to have a different sound, and I wanted for fans to be able to hear other parts of my voice than maybe what they've heard this whole time in Sugarland, which is great. But, you know, I'm in a different place in my life, and I want to celebrate that musically as well.
When we come back, Lady A gets ready to take fans downtown in their own towns. We'll catch up with the band at their tour rehearsal.